I got a brief taste of LEGO Voyagers last month, about the first 20 minutes or so of the game that left me charmed but curious. The game was cute enough that I was perfectly happy to look past its quirky, imprecise control scheme, and I could tell from the life breathed into the level and excellent musical and comedy cues that it was the product of a lot of love and a strong vision. Going into the final release, I was expecting a fun, if not exceptionally memorable time, and I certainly had no idea that this quaint little title was going to make me cry actual human tears. Voyagers is a new title from publisher Annapurna Interactive and European developer Lightbrick Studio, who previously worked on Apple Arcade title LEGO Builder's Journey, which was fairly well received at the time. This new title sees two players taking control of sentient 1x1 LEGO bricks, one red and one blue. You'll roll them through isometric environments and progress through puzzles by attaching both yourselves and other bricks to the studs and grids in each level. The bricks seem to be children who dream of going to outer space if their island home overlooking a nearby shuttle launch station and filled with toys representing astronaut training is anything to go by. They spend evenings gazing upwards at the stars, waiting for the day the rocket launches. But then the launch goes awry and the bricks set off on an adventure to reassemble the pieces of the shuttle and seize their chance to reach what's beyond the skies. You'll need to team up with another player. The game has local co-op and comes with a friend pass, as well as Steam's Remote Play Together feature to accommodate this, to solve environmental puzzles, stack bricks, and drive vehicles, all of which is done cooperatively. Things start fairly easy, but the further you get in the game, the more attention you'll need to pay to your environment in order to work out the solution to progress, as the game features no dialogue at all and only minimal tutorialization. While most things work exactly the way they're supposed to, one of my only two real problems with this title lies in its controls. I have no issue with the wonky platforming and inconsistent movement cadence. You're playing as a rectangular brick, so it's totally expected that it feels a little odd to move around until you get used to the feeling of it. If you fall during platforming or end up otherwise out of bounds, the game will just place your brick a few steps away from where you fell, so it never feels like much of a punishment, and that suits the tone that LEGO Voyagers is going for. The only time I was starting to get genuinely frustrated was with the building segments, particularly as the game goes on and the pieces involved get more complicated. The same button is used to lock into the stud grid, place a brick down, and then attach yourself to a brick in order to lift it back up again. And this is also the same button you use to collect additional bricks that automatically attach to the one you're currently carrying. Most of the time this works just fine, but there were moments where I attached to an unintended brick or spot multiple times in a row, and there are more than enough unused buttons on the controller to have accommodated this. However, the vast majority of the time, Voyagers is an absolute delight to play. Its world is filled with handcrafted detail and fun background elements, and its silent story is so well integrated into its gameplay that the player will end up naturally learning how to engage with every inch of it without the need to be explicitly told. Some of the puzzles will likely be a challenge for a younger audience, but the game has enough artistry and depth to it, as well as an absolutely immaculate ambient score, to appeal to any adult still enjoying Mario or Astro Bot. Even as puzzles get more complicated, each of the game's environs is deliberately designed to help the player figure out for themselves what needs to be done, and no individual puzzle element overstays its welcome. Where other games might be padded out by having you take your boat through an hour-long journey of repetitive ideas, Voyagers finds the most interesting ways it can use each new idea it puts forth and then moves on. The story is far from complicated, being told with essentially no spoken or written words, but this almost enhances its strength and poignancy. A twist fairly early on begins to foreshadow where things are going to end, and the longer I had to sit with where I knew things were going, the more emotional I knew I was going to become, because yes, this silly little game about singing Lego bricks did make me cry. Given its brevity, I won't go into any specific details, but if you're the kind of person who can still have an emotional reaction to movies for children, I have a suspicion it might provoke the same from you. That brevity is my only other minor issue with LEGO Voyagers. The email with our review embargo listed the expected playtime at 5 hours, and that did end up being just about correct. We actually went a little over that as there is a lot of extra creative opportunity towards the end of the game, but I did have a moment when we entered what was definitely going to be the game's final level where I was a bit surprised. The 3 distinct sections are each extremely strong, but I would have expected there to be one more before I reached the end. As usual though, this isn't too much of a negative. I wanted more of this brilliant title, but I can't fault the developers much for not wanting to force themselves to pad things out. Expect to finish the game in either 1 or 2 sessions. LEGO Voyagers is a surprise, a little treat that I'm going to spend forever trying to explain to people. It's a puzzle game about singing plastic bricks that pulls out an evocative, touching narrative without ever actually saying a word, and its ending is easily seen coming but quietly devastating nonetheless. Its music is ambient, immersive, and easily one of the year's best scores, despite how little attention it draws to itself. As a package, it's a vision almost perfectly realized, and in a time when players are spoiled for choice when it comes to co-op adventures, it's worthy of the time of anyone who's ever dreamed of shooting for the moon. Noisy Pixel is giving LEGO Voyagers a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our supporters on Patreon for making our coverage possible. Go to patreon.com/noisypixel if you'd like to join them and receive our monthly digital magazine in addition to our eternal thanks. Noisy Pixel is an independent operation working hard to bring you news, reviews, previews, and more. Leave a comment below to start a conversation, come talk nerdy with us in our community Discord, and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.